What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we continue the Gauntlet Series for the JBL Tour One Tour One M3 headphones. I don't know why I was gonna call them 3M, but here we go. And their opponent in this one will be the Cambridge Melomania P100 headphones. This should be a very interesting head-to-head. I actually had a comment in my unboxing video for the, I believe it was for the JBLs. Yeah, it was for them, asking how these two compared. So here they are in the Gauntlet Series. Let's see what we get. So now if you're interested in any specs, apps, price on either one of these, I'll leave links in the description below to my unboxing video, which supplies you that information. And if you're interested in picking up either one or both of these, I'll leave links on where you can do that as well. Also, if you have any songs that you want to be used for testing and for these Gauntlet series, as well as unboxing videos for both earbuds and my headphones here, go ahead and leave those name of the song and the artist in the comment section, and I'll go ahead and take a look and see if they can be thrown into the playlist, and you will see them here on the channel whenever possible. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, we are back in. We're gonna start off with the JBL Tour One M3s. Let's go into the app. As you can see, noise canceling is already turned on, but I want to show you the audio feature. We have LDAC turned on here. Let me make sure I'm in the camera, don't go too high. And you can see we have LDAC turned on here in the phone. All right, and this is my equalizer settings for them. All right, you can pause the video if you want to check that out. Oops, went too far. All right, so let's go ahead and pop these guys on. All right, we already got noise canceling turned on. And we got our first song. Let's get our camera switched around so you guys can see me. What's good? We got our cutaway. Here we go. Song number one. Let's go. All right. Nice and clear. Again, getting the nuance, the breathing. The background vocalists are nice and clear. The soundstage is kind of narrow, but they got good spacing. Again, the enunciation of the words, the pronunciation of letters, B's, P's, and T's. Very nice. Getting her breathing rhythms, inhale, exhale. Very clear. Very, very clear. I like the way the background vocalists come in. Gives you, even though it's a tighter sound stage, still fills up the space. All right. And then when they're harmonizing, sounds really good. Got good spacing in between them, so they don't sound like they're stacked on top of each other. All right. Let's go ahead and switch over to the M100s. See how they do. All right. We are back in with the P100s. I mentioned that I said the M100s earlier. Those are the earbuds. We are in the app for the P100s. So I just want to quickly show you my EQ setting here on those. All right. And noise canceling, we're going to go ahead and turn it on right here. All right, noise canceling set to high. So I just want to make sure we are in good standing here. Everything seems to be up to par. All right. Let's back up one. All right. So all right, let's go ahead and put these guys on. All right, here we go. Let's get the camera flip. All right, there we go. All right, for some reason it wasn't triggering from the headphones, but now they should be good to go now. Yep. All right. We're good. All right. Little technical difficulty there, but we're back on. So let me make sure. Let's check our volume level here. All right. We at a preferred volume level. Here we go. Song number 1 with the P100s. Okay. Right off the back. Good volume. Good clarity with the vocalist. Okay. A wider sound stage than the JBLs. You can tell the difference there. Good. Background vocalists sound nice and clear too. And you you're getting all the nuance on this one as well. With the enunciation of words, her breathing rhythms. And I like how clear the background vocalists are. They fill in that space. The soundstage, they sound really good. All right, when they're harmonizing, this is probably one of the best parts of the songs. I love when they harmonize. Let me pause that. They sound very clear. Excuse me. Again, a wider soundstage than the JBLs. But man, I think they both did a wonderful job here on song number 1. So let's go ahead and flip over to song number 2. All right, we are back in song number 2 for the Tour One M3s. We got them already on. That is E40 with T-Pain and Candy Girl. Who that? You and that rather. So let's go ahead and get our cutaway going. Whoops, I'm in the bottom half. Let's get that back. All right, here we go. All right, now we got it. All right, here we go. Song number 2. Let's get it. That bass comes right off the top, sounding very clean, very smooth. That reverb fades away, doesn't cut off. I like that. Real smooth. The vocalist, nice and clear. We got T-Pain right now. The tinny sound from the auto-tune, not bad. I can totally enjoy it. All right. That bass is hitting. Let's turn this up. Oh. Yeah. No distortion. And the fadeaway, again, smooth, buttery smooth. All right, let's go back down. All right. Now we got E40 coming in. Sounding very clean, clear. Even the ad-libs are sounding clear. Oh, absolutely. All right. I love the bass, the thump on it, the spacing good, the vocals clear, and even at a high volume level, no distortion from the bass, and the low end still buttery smooth at that point. Absolutely fantastic. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to put these down. All right, and now we're going to come ahead. We'll go ahead and put on the P100s. All right, let's back it up. All right, here we go. Song number 2, the P100s. Let's go. Ooh. Okay. Oh, that bass is nice. That reverb, hold on. Okay, it fades away nicely too. With a wider sound stage, the bass sounding like that. Okay, let's turn this up. Oh, hold on. Oh, man. Ooh. Oh, that's okay. Okay. Now, T-Pain sound nice and clear. That bass at the is clean. It's punching, reverb, silk. And at a higher, let me pause this. At the higher levels, the bass was Wasn't it was really good. Didn't hear any type of distortion in the headphones, which was really great, especially at the higher volume levels. But man, it really cranked, and just took me. To be honest, it's been a little bit since I've had these on, and to listen to them go through that, yeah, it just brings it right back to me. But man, they sound really clean. The vocals very clear. T-Pain, E40. You can hear every syllable of every word in every verse. But man, what surprised me with the wide soundstage that they had is how powerful and punchy that bass was, and how smooth the reverb was. Man, that was a really good one. All right, let's go ahead and get into our final song. All right, we're back in. Final song for the Tour M3s. We got from Kenny G. Let's go ahead and get our camera flip so you guys can see me. Let's get our cutaway in. All right, here we go. Song number 3. Right off the top, that crisp keyboard, them high keys, and then that transition to the lower keys. Fantastic. He sounds so crisp. That lead saxophone. So clear. It's wonderful. Sounds so good. Sounds so good. And again, not tighter soundstage, but they got good spacing. So doesn't sound like, it's on top of you, real like compressed. I like that. But man, that lead saxophone just blows me away. The keyboard did a fantastic job, and I love the transition from the high keys to the low keys, how you're able to hear that transition. All right, let's go ahead and pop these off. We'll get the P100s on. All right, and back that song up. All right, here we go. Last song, P100s. Let's do it. Ooh. The clarity. The Christmas and the clarity here. And you get the transition from the high keys to the low keys. It's good. But man, that clarity is fantastic. Now we got the crispness of the lead saxophone. Again, with a wider sound, nice wide sound stage. Oh my goodness, sounds so crisp. Now this is one of my favorite songs, so it's just, again, when you get those type of headphones, yeah, very clear. All right, I had to turn that off. All right, again, right off the bat, you could tell the clarity. You can just in the crispness of the keyboard, then transitioning from the high keys to the low keys. Granted, you know what? I'm gonna save it for the next segment here, and I'll explain what I was getting ready to get into. So they did a wonderful job. Wonderful job. Let's go ahead and get this cleaned up. Switch over. We're gonna talk about these two headphones and the 3 songs, and we're gonna pick our winner, episode number 2. Stay strapped in. All right, we are back in, and man, this was another great head-to-head for this Gauntlet Series for the JBL Tour One M3 headphones and their opponents, the Cambridge Melomania P100. I want to make sure I got that right. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about our first songs. Both of them did really good with the vocalists. Again, the P100s had a wider sound stage when it came to just overall, they had a wider soundstage than the JBLs across the board. Both again very clear on the vocalist. I think the P100s had a little bit more clear. Was a little bit clearer. The clarity was there when it came to the actual vocalist. I mean, you got good sound and everything. You could hear them. You wasn't missing anything. Nothing sound muffled, but on the JBLs. But when you compare these two, the clarity check goes to the P100s. Again, wider soundstage, clarity. As far as natural volume, both of them had no problem with either one. They were both very nice and loud enough for me, especially at my preferred listening level. I didn't feel as though I needed to turn either one up or down. So that pretty much nullifies itself there. Again, despite the fact that the JBLs had a tighter soundstage, the vocalists did have nice separation between them, so they didn't sound like they were on top of each other when singing, and especially when they were harmonizing in that song. Again, with the wider soundstage on the P100s, it was good spacing all the way through. All right, moving on over to our bass song. Now, this one took me by surprise. Again, it's been a little bit since I listened to the P100s. Their turn in the rotation hasn't come up yet, but now I understand why a lot of people rave about these headphones. Again, the bass on the M1 M3s rather, I don't want to call them M1s. The M3s just punchy, just clean, smooth reverb, fades away like ripples on a pond. Even at higher volume levels, that didn't get distorted, sound great. The vocalist, again, very clear with the M3s, and you can hear every syllable of every word in every verse, like I said, and you're not missing anything on these. With the P100s, I think the bass sounds just a little bit cleaner, a little bit more powerful, a little bit cleaner. I'm not gonna say a little bit, just as clean, but punched a lot harder than when compared to the JBLs, and it surprised me, especially when I got to a higher volume level, and it was still hitting with that wider soundstage. Excuse me, and the reverb was still buttery smooth, faded away nicely, and it still hit. I was thoroughly surprised on that. And then on top of that, the clarity, the overall song sound clearer on the P100s than it did on the M3s. And just comparing these two, but man, that really blew me away on that one. Of course, the vocalists, the lyricists, the lyrics, everything sound clear on these. Now going over to our third song, again, the JBLs did a great job with the transition. I really like their transition from the high keys to the low keys. I like that one better than I did on the P100s. They just sound a little bit better. The transitions sound a little bit better. I guess because the bass was a little bit more tighter, and because of the tighter soundstage, I think it gave it a little bit more punch to the transition, in my opinion. But again, the saxophone, nice and crisp. Good separation to them despite the tighter soundstage, and they sound really good. But again, when you get in with the P100s, the soundstage is wider. You sound like you get that feel that the saxophone and piano have a lot more spacing between them. Nice airy sound to them. Yes, you did get that transition from the crisp highs to the lows. It was there, but it did give you that good rumble. But again, at this point, I just was blown away at how between song 2 and 3, the transition was, how the difference was when it came to the low end. But you definitely got it. It just sounded a little bit better on the M3s. But man, again, the clarity, the crispness of the saxophone, the spacing, the airiness, it was just a really, really good sound, really good listen on the P100s here. So man, this was a great head-to-head. Definitely can tell differences between these two. A lot of fun. If you have these songs, follow with me, join me on this stuff. Let me hear you in the comments. All right. I'll try to answer you guys as much as I can. And we can have conversations, hopefully. All right. So with all that being said, if I had to walk out the door with just one of these headphones, which one would I walk out with based on everything we covered here? I would have to give the nod to the P100s. Just that vocal, just that overall clarity of the bass, surprisingly, and the soundstage being nice and wide. I think these guys would have to be the ones, based on what we all tested here, I would have to walk out the door with. They will give you my winner in this one. The JBLs, wonderful pair of headphones, absolutely no questions about it. But they fall just a little short on this one. But definitely, I feel real good recommending the JBLs as well to anyone who's looking for a new pair of headphones. All right, so that will wrap this up for episode number 2. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to join me as I continue to do videos like this and others, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. That way you're notified when videos like this and others drop. This is going to be a lot of fun. We got a couple more coming up. You definitely want to be tuned in for those. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.